My mother-in-law hates the fact that I don't talk to my family. My fiancée, Amy, comes from a large close-knit family who all adore each other. When we met, I explained that I was no contact with my family, and she was okay with the fact that I wasn't comfortable in sharing why we don't talk. The only person who seems to have a problem with this is my soon-to-be mother-in-law, Emily. She cannot fathom that not all families are as close as hers, and has been pushing for us to reconcile. It got so bad that we threatened to invite her from our wedding. We got hundreds of angry messages after this threat, and we eventually apologized but pleaded with her to drop this issue. She agreed, but it was obvious that she was lying. Our wedding ceremony went off without a hitch, and I was finally delighted to be married to the love of my life. Emily kept smirking at me throughout the entire ceremony, and I couldn't shake the feeling that she had done something terrible. We arrived at the reception afterwards and spent almost 2 hours posing for pictures. It was beyond exhausting, and the only thing that kept me going was the thought of the amazing sex that we would have tonight. After what seemed like an eternity, we were led into the wedding reception and proudly introduced as husband and wife. My face went ashen as I noticed my family interspersed amongst the tables. Emily walked over smiling and told me she had decided to invite them to join us on our special days. I now lie in the blood-soaked dance floor, surrounded by dismembered bodies, watching as my father plunges his teeth into my wife's jugular and cursing my mother-in-law for inviting them back into my life.
My daughter Amy has been dating this weird guy Mark for the last couple of years. We have tried to initiate him into our family, but he seems very standoffish. I decided that the best course of action was to blend both of our families together, but he acted offended even though I knew it was a brilliant idea. I tried to persuade him to follow my advice, but he got even more irritated. He then convinced my beloved Amy to threaten to uninvite me from their wedding. I was utterly heartbroken, and the rest of my family were furious when they heard of this. We both apologized to each other afterwards, but I knew what I had to do. I tracked down his parents and invited them to the after party. They kept asking me really weird questions like if there will be lots of shaded areas and what blood types we all had. I knew Mark was weird, but they were even worse. The wedding day arrived and I could barely keep the smile from my face, as I knew Mark would love his surprise. I was standing front and center as they arrived to the reception. Mark's face went ghostly white as he stared at all his family in the room. I was so caught up celebrating my amazing surprise that I didn't notice the screams all around me. I stood there petrified as Mark's family began ripping apart everyone I knew and loved. Soon I was the only one still alive, as even my beloved Amy had been killed by these monsters. I shrank away from Mark as he marched towards me. I stared in horror at his elongated incisors as he smiled menacingly at me. He moved his head towards my neck and said,
Gracias por darme la bienvenida. su familia, querida suegra. Thanks for inviting me into your family.
As I felt his teeth sink into my throat. Thanks for inviting me into your family.